proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Joe Zone on sports. This is the Newswatch 16 update.
Good evening. On this holiday weekend, some of you will be heading out on vacation, others heading home.
But in Lackawanna County tonight, it's a homecoming one family will never forget. The family of baby Jason Johnson welcomed home the young liver transplant patient tonight. Night Beat reporter Kathy Bellich says it was a touching time.
Good boy.
Jason Johnson is 17 months old now. He's had his new liver for a couple of months, and his parents say he's healthy, happy, and terrific. He's learning to crawl. He's doing a lot of laughing. He's been out of the hospital for a few weeks, and doctors said he was well enough to make this visit to his grandparents' home in Clark Summit for the holiday weekend. His parents, Karen and David, say this first year after the transplant is crucial.
There's a 75% survival rate the first year, and then after that it goes up to 90. So after we get through this next year, when we hit June 16th of next year, then I might think of long-term outlook, but right now I just want to get through this next year.
Jason has to take 8 different medications daily. One of them causes hair growth, but he must take them to prevent infection. He suffered from biliary atresia, a disease that kept his liver from functioning. His new one is functioning very well.
There were several other kids out there that are still in the hospital. There are ones that have had second, third, one even that's getting ready for his 4th transplant. Jason has come through the first one. Everything's perfect, and it couldn't be better.
The Johnsons had another baby over the summer, so they say they're now one big happy family of 5.
He's really progressed a lot just since he's been out of the hospital. Nothing stops this kid.
Kathy Bellich, Newswatch 16, Clark Summit.
It's the weather that has people down south worried tonight, and they are worried because of Hurricane Elena that is continuing to move toward shore.
Meteorologist Paul Hefner is live now in his weather office with the latest on that hurricane. Paul?
Karen and Nolan, Hurricane Elena is still lurking just off the west coast of Florida. Although it is a dangerous storm from the ground, from space it is a beautiful swirl of clouds, as was viewed by those aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery.
Yeah, it's sure an interesting storm. It doesn't have a classic eye yet, but it looks like it's trying to develop one, that little wedge-shaped, arrow-shaped thing, depression in there.
Even though the storm has not made landfall, damaging waves are already crashing into Pensacola, Florida, where you could say the surf's up. More than 150,000 people have been evacuated from the Gulf Coast, where a state of emergency is now in effect. Yesterday, the storm was moving toward the northwest, threatening the coast of Louisiana, but on today's time-lapse satellite picture, the storm has taken a sudden turn to the northeast, prompting hurricane warnings now to be issued for the west coast of Florida. Going to the computer now, we can take a look at a picture of Florida and the Gulf Coast. Elena centered about 120 miles south of Pensacola, Florida, and the hurricane warnings have been discontinued from Louisiana through Alabama, but now they have been extended down through Tampa, St. Pete, and so they are bracing for the storm. Again, the storm is drifting erratically toward the northeast, and Karen and Nolan, it's a wait-and-see situation for the Gulf of Mexico. It should strike sometime tomorrow.
Coming up, some reservations about holiday travel.
Plus, a little later, we'll take a test drive in the cheapest new car in America as Newswatch 16 update continues.
Would you know a great deal if it fell on you? Well, they're falling right now at your Toyota dealer. The 85s have got to go to make room for the 86s. So we're dropping the boom on our super selection of Toyotas with deals that'll put you behind the wheel of the best-selling import in America. We've got immediate delivery, on-the-spot financing, and incentives on trucks and vans that could save you even more. The 85s have got to go. So hurry to your Toyota dealer before your chance to catch a deal is gone.
Honey, isn't this terrific?
Terrific.
Oh, come on, Dave, you're cheating.
Kathy, real men do not flutter kick, ever.
Good. I suppose real men don't shower either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you won't mind if I go first. Can you hand me my secret?
Hey, you worked hard. Use mine.
Secret roll-on keeps me a lot drier than your spray. It's made for women's perspiration, see? It's pH balanced.
Oh, your perspiration's more delicate, huh?
No way.
A woman's perspiration pH can be higher than a man's, as this shows you. And pH Balance Secret actually works with a woman's chemistry to help keep her dry.
Okay, sounds great.
It is, for women.
But if it's strong...
Real men stick to their own kind.
Secret. Strong enough for a man, but pH balanced for a woman.
Yuengling was brewing premium beer back in 1956, in 1919, in 1860, and all the way back to 1829. 5 generations of the Yuengling family have been helping America quench her thirst for over a century and a half. What a tradition. What a great beer. Yuengling, America's oldest, is still America's best. And that's a promise from Dick Yuengling himself.
Convicted mass murderer George Banks is back in the Luzerne County Jail tonight. At a hearing in Wilkes-Barre today, a judge decided that Banks no longer has to stay at the Fairview State Hospital for the criminally insane. Banks was sent there last year after several suicide threats. The Wilkes-Barre man has been convicted of killing 13 people, including some of his children, 3 years ago.
Police all over our area say they'll be out this weekend as travelers hit the road for the Labor Day holiday. Traffic, like here on Interstate 81 in Lackawanna County, was moving along fairly well in most areas tonight, but state police say there could be some tie-ups in the many construction areas over the weekend. And next, meteorologist Paul Hepner, in for Tom Clark, will be telling us if it'll clear up for the holiday weekend ahead.
Paul, summer can't be over yet, is it?
Not yet. Big weekend for hitting the road. Lots of folks heading out there to put the old fishing rod in or set up the camper. And I think that the weather will cooperate. Full details coming up in just one moment.
The croissant from Burger King just beat the stuffing out of Egg McMuffin.
And to celebrate, Burger King will give you a croissant for only 99 cents. Just come to breakfast and say, croissant, and get a croissant for 99 cents. Sandwich.
Croissant.
See, you don't have to say, beat the stuffing out of Egg McMuffin 2-to-1 for best taste. Just croissant. And get a croissant for 99 cents at Burger King for a limited time only. So long as when you say, croissant, you're thinking.
Way up high in the far-off sky, higher than 747s fly, there's a very important day in the life of every cloud that makes white cloud. It's the day a young cloud makes his very first roll of white cloud, a bathroom tissue softer and thicker than any other.
Papa, I'm nervous. Are you sure he can make it softer?
Mama, don't be nervous.
But it has to be thicker, too. Are you sure he can make it softer and thicker?
Of course. I taught him everything I know.
Oh, it looks softer and thicker. But will it pass the test?
It takes a very special cloud to make white cloud so much softer than any other tissue.
Ooh, it is softer.
And when it comes to thicker, no other tissue measures up.
It's thicker, too. Definitely white cloud.
Mama, our little cloud makes white cloud.
Oh.
It's softer and it's thicker, too, because clouds make white cloud just for you.
Well, it's the last big weekend of the summer. Let's see if it's going to be a good one. How about it, Paul?
I think that it will be going out with a bang, Karen and Nolan. Certainly some fine weather coming up this weekend. Very comfortable temperature-wise with readings in the 70s and the humidity, just right. But today the humidity was very high thanks to lots of rainfall. In the rain gauge this evening, we picked up more than 0.8 of an inch of rain. So indeed, it was a soaking rain here throughout the region. Here's a look at the current reading at this hour where temperatures are sliding down through the 60s. And we are registering a reading that is 63 degrees. Relative humidity still high, but I think it'll drop off late tonight. The wind from the west at 7 miles per hour, and the barometer is rising from 29.88 inches. Today's high temperature, a little bit on the cool side, 70 degrees. Low temperature last night was 62. A record high, 96. Ooh, a scorcher back in 1953. Okay, here's a look at the satellite picture for you this evening. And lots of bright clouds just offshore. Those are the ones that gave us the heavy rain during the daytime hours. And here's a low-pressure system which is sneaking through New England and out of our scene. But thank goodness, because on the back side of it, cool air will be coming in. Temperatures will be in the 70s. Really cool with the clouds and rain up across portions of southeastern Canada where temperatures were in the 40s today. That is a certain sign of fall. That's clashing with the warm and humid air down to the south, and it's that clash that is producing lots of heavy thunderstorms just ahead of the front. Some places in Long Island had tornadoes from that thunderstorm complex, and there was some wind damage over portions of southeastern Pennsylvania near Quarriesville, in case you know some folks over there. Here's a look at the radar. Those heavy thunderstorms flashing, they're moving through Cape Cod and offshore. For us, just a couple of very light scattered showers still back west of the low-pressure system, but that will be moving through later on tonight, and I don't expect any rain to fall tomorrow. Lots of rain falling from Florida through Tampa up along the coast. All this red is heavy thunderstorm activity. Of course, that is associated with Hurricane Elena, and where that goes still remains to be seen. Right now, drifting erratically toward the northeast, and it could make landfall sometime tomorrow. The weather map for tomorrow shows a low-pressure system moving offshore. This high-pressure system moving in. It will control our weather tomorrow, Sunday, and into Monday. So the travel forecast is good for the entire East Coast this weekend. My forecast for tonight and tomorrow: drying out. It'll be a cool day in Montrose, 70 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, Orange 74, Lansford 75. Over in Montgomery, Lycoming County, readings in the mid-70s tomorrow. Same story for Old Fort Center County, and the wind from the refreshing direction, the north, at 10 miles per hour. Sunrise and sunset tomorrow. I think we'll see a few clouds around at 6:28, but a beautiful sunset, getting kind of early, 7:37. Clearing skies late tonight, but some very patchy, dense fog developing. Low temperature 56 degrees, partly cloudy tomorrow, 75. Sunday looks sunny, 75 degrees. Beginning to warm up on Monday, up to 79. And then on Tuesday, some clouds rolling in. Readings should be in the low to mid-70s. So Karen and Nolan, as I see it, some fine weather shaping up for the telethon this weekend over at Rocky Glen. Everyone should come down and enjoy.
We'll be there.
We'll be there. Thanks, Paul. Coming up, Karen and I move out. The sports department takes over.
Joe Zone and Tim Carlson show us that not all area high school football openers were rained out. The season's first sports final is next.
It has the power of protein. The power to clean many tough stains. It's the power of Era Plus with stain cleansing proteins. And while nothing gets out every stain, Era Plus has the power to clean many of the toughest. Era Plus. Stains come clean with the power of protein.
You wear your style like you wear your smile. So free, so fine, so right. We're a new generation flashing through the night. We made our choice, making it Pepsi, looking Pepsi style. We made our choice, making it Pepsi.
Mary Lou Retton and muscular dystrophy poster child Ben Terraberry.
We came to McDonald's just to buy French fries. Large fries. Right. Not just because they taste great, it's for a good cause. This Labor Day weekend, when you buy French fries at McDonald's, large fries, 25 cents goes to fight muscular dystrophy. So help kids like Ben with large fries for small fries. Hey, who are you calling a small fry?
It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
Well, Tim, here we are, back again for another high school football season.
It is hard to believe we are here again, and the weather wasn't very helpful tonight, was it?
In fact, most of the schedule this opening night was rained out. Most of those rainouts were rescheduled for tomorrow. There were a dozen or so games played tonight. One of them, the only one, in fact, in the Wyoming Valley Conference, and it was Myers and Crestwood. Tim, you were there, and you were impressed with Crestwood.
I certainly was, and I was surprised. And I'll tell you one interesting fact about the game tonight. Crestwood won it. Was the fact that 4 of the coaches in the Crestwood squad played for Mickey Gorham of Myers at one time or another. All right, let's go to the highlights right now and pick it up. And the Crestwood Comets did very well tonight, getting the ball rolling in the first quarter. They get it moving midway in the first quarter. On the 2nd and 21, their own 29, quarterback Bill Chesna finds Jim McGovern. The play goes 58 yards down to the Myers 13. 3 plays later, the Comets cap an 88-yard drive. Chesna to Brad Reinheimer for the 13-yard touchdown with a point after. Crestwood up 7-0. Then, late in the first quarter, the Comet defense takes over. Myers 1st and 10 at the Crestwood 20. The pass intercepted by Dean Ambosi. He'll pick it off. He'll go 80 yards for the touchdown, and that makes it 14-0 after the point after. Crestwood leading after 1 quarter. The Comets defense held Myers twice before coming back to score again before the half was over. On 3rd and 7 at the Myers 24, quarterback Bill Chesna sees halfback Mike Olean open. A nice catch here for the touchdown with a point after. The Comets stunning Myers 21-0 at the half. In the second half, Myers shut down Crestwood just enough to keep them off the board and helping themselves to the only touchdown of the game. 10 minutes to go. Gene Maffei to Bob Schweibel to make it 21-6, and Crestwood held on to win the ball game as they counted down at the end. A big victory, 21-6. Bill Jones, head coach of the Comets in his first game, is happy about the win.
How about this club the rest of the year? Are they going to play like this?
Oh, I hope so. I'll tell you, we got GAR next week. It's no time to sit back and relax. We got to come out next week and get right after. We can't sit back and think about this too long.
They're a good ball club. Here's the scoreboard now. Eastern Conference, Crestwood over Myers, 21-6. In the mid-pen, Southern Columbia over Jim Thorpe, 13-12. So one of our Super 16 teams wins their high school football now. Cedar Cliff over Shikellamy, 20-0. Redland and Stroudsburg canceled. Montoursville over Reading Central Catholic, 24-0. It was Wyalusing over Wallenpaupack, 17-7. And Troy beat North Penn, 21-0. And, Joe, if Honesdale didn't have to go so far to Bloomsburg, they might not have played that game tonight.
You're right. Honesdale, though, had to get down the road early, that 90-minute drive to Bloomsburg. They decided to play their football game, and here's how it turned out. We were there early to catch the highlights in that one, and watch it now as Bloomsburg goes to work, but it's actually Honesdale getting on the board first. A little run right there. They're up 6-0. That's Bloomsburg taking the early lead. Then quarterback Rob Light for Honesdale with the keeper scores on a 2-yard run. That ties the score. Then a nice throw to his teammate Tom Lynch for the 2-point conversion. Honesdale leads 8-6 at the half, and there it is right there. But back comes Bloomsburg. In the next period, Bloomsburg comes back on the third. Number 34, Jamie Klein, drives up the middle and scores from the one. That made it 12-8 and 18-8 as Honesdale is knocked off tonight by Bloomsburg. Check the Eastern Conference scoreboard. There it is. Bloomsburg over Honesdale, 18-8. Halifax over Williams Valley, 16-13. State College beat Bellefonte, 31-14. Mifflinburg, 14. Newport, 13. Phillipsburg over Lewistown, 34-0. Good old Kish over Chief Logan, 7-6. West Perry, 25. Penns Valley, 2. Susquehanna, 18. Millersburg, 0. And Line Mountain over Juniata tonight, 21-6. Because that Central Columbia game, now we said there were some postponements. Because that game was postponed tonight, they'll play at home tomorrow night. The only problem is Columbia Montour Votech was scheduled to use that field tomorrow night. So the game with Bucktail will be played instead tomorrow
And
afternoon.
Joe, Stroudsburg's game with Redland will not be rescheduled. The lights went out tonight, and the Redland coaches decided it was just too far to go again, so that game has been totally wiped out.
Okay, so the football situation, that's it. As we said, most of the games tonight were postponed because of the rain. Most will be played tomorrow. All right?
A lot of highlights tomorrow night, too.
Okay, let's take a look now at the baseball. Yankees and the Angels to get it going tonight in the 9th inning, and the Yankees are trailing. Final score 4-1. Take a look at it now as we go to today's plays. And off the bat, here's a home run. Bystrom on the mound. Howell with a home run. That makes it 2-0 as Henderson makes the try, but not Henderson, but Sample makes the try and can't get it. There's Jones going to work. Rupert, that's a home run. 3-0. The Yankees are down. Now Reggie, that's a gapper. It's going to get a run in. Henderson making the try here. He's not going to get to it. That makes it 4-0, and right now it's 4-1, and they are in the 9th inning. Okay, the Tigers in trouble tonight. Watch this double right here by Hill for Oakland to get 2 runs in. That made it 4-0 at the time, and the Tigers are knocked off by Oakland in their game. And now the White Sox and the Blue Jays. Carlton Fisk. Watch this one get by Bell out in the outfield. Well, it did get by him, and there it is. 1-0. Toronto leads the game. Mosby comes up here with a home run. There it goes. That ties the game, and Toronto comes back and wins it. Final score 5-3. Scoreboard, American League. Yankees losing 4-1. If it stays that way, they're 5 back. Toronto beat Chicago 5-3. Oakland 8-3. Seattle, Baltimore. Baltimore 6-0. 3-hitter in that game. Texas over Kansas City 4-0. Minnesota and Boston. Boston leading 6-2 in the 7th. And Milwaukee leading Cleveland 7-3. That's in the 7th.
Joe, out on the coast, the Mets are taking on the Giants again, trying to recover from that 6-3 extra inning loss yesterday. Let's go to the scoreboard and check it out. There you see they're just underway in the first with no score. Houston is leading St. Louis in the 7th, 7-3. Cincinnati knocked off Pittsburgh 1-0. Jay Tibbs with a shutout. Atlanta has won their 5th in a row for Bobby Wine, 8-1 over Chicago. And the Phils in L.A., no score in the first inning.
Okay, let's go out to Pocono Downs and take a look at the numbers. Third race, big trip. 1 and 7 and 2, and it paid $303.30. The Daily Double 8 and 2. $37.40.
And speaking of the Downs, Joe, this great-looking horse right here is Dragon's Lair, the second-ranked 2-year-old pacer in the country, arrived at the Downs last night. He'll be racing tomorrow night in the feature at Pocono Downs. Fish and Game. Let's take a look at it.
Looks real good tomorrow about 2:30, but then 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Very nice as we wrap up the first sports final. And to be honest, we missed an awful lot of games tonight. We wish everybody got going, but they didn't, so they started tomorrow.
And a lot of big games tomorrow. We'll have them.
Okay, that's it. Nolan and Karen will be right back.
Funny, son, but if you want my advice, buy another Subaru.
Sure, Dad.
Thought we agreed you'd buy a Subaru.
But, Dad, I did. The new Subaru XT Coupe.
You've got a friend at your nearby Pennsylvania Subaru dealer.
Taking the day off was a great idea.
Yeah. Now what do we do?
Something new, something different.
Like what? While you're thinking, have my antiperspirant.
No.
No?
Try my spray. It's strong. Do something different.
I did. I switched to Secret Solid. It works better than your wet spray.
Better, huh? Then maybe...
Secret Solid's pH balanced for women. Now go and fix us some breakfast.
Me?
Do something new. Something different.
Secret Solid, strong enough for a man.
But pH balanced for a woman.
Finally tonight, could you go for a brand new car that costs around $4,000?
The cheapest new car in town is just off the boat from Yugoslavia. And Newswatch 16's Dan Fiorucci found one in Kingston.
No sooner had the Yugo arrived at the Ertley dealership in Kingston than 15 orders came in. Dealers expect this import to move fast.
I think we're going to be swamped. And I think the problem is going to be we'll have a large majority of people that want the car can only fill so many of the orders. That's what I think is going to happen.
The sticker price of the car is $39.90. Add $400 for dealer prep and freight, another $225 for, say, an AM/FM radio, and $230 in sales tax. And you can drive a Yugo away for $4,900. And what's it like once you do drive it out of the showroom? Well, not too bad. For a car with only an 1100cc engine, pickup is fairly brisk, better than you'd expect. And the handling qualities aren't bad either. Dealers don't expect the Yugo to compete with other new cars. They think it will compete with used ones.
I think the competition in this car will be taking a buyer that would have bought a used car and putting them into a new vehicle.
The car is so simple that dealers say servicing it shouldn't be a problem, and that parts will be available. But finding a Yugo may be a problem. The big deliveries of the car don't come till autumn. Dan Fiorucci, Newswatch 16, Kingston.
It's cute.
It's cute.
It's cute.
Yeah. And that's Newswatch 16 update for tonight.
Next on Nightline, a look at the controversy over school children with AIDS.
And for the team, thanks for joining us.
And be sure to have a great and safe Labor Day weekend.
Good night.